Good evening and hello. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. Welcome to you all. A special welcome to the new members of my community. I am glad to be with you all this evening. I will tell you about the American Counseling Association, Counseling and Psychotherapy. My next talk will take place on the fourth Friday of this month. The month of April is National Counseling Awareness Month. The American Counseling Association met with counselors at a convention who were delegates from 31 counseling organizations. They came up with a unified definition of counseling. Professional counseling is a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families, and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education, and career goals. The American Counseling Association is a not-for-profit professional and educational organization that is dedicated to the growth and enhancement of the counseling profession. This association was founded in 1952. It is the world's largest association exclusively representing professional counselors in various settings. The mission statement of the American Counseling Association is as follows: to enhance the quality of life in society by promoting the development of professional counselors, advancing the counseling profession, and using the profession and practice of counseling to promote respect for human dignity and diversity. More than 50,000 members of the American Counseling Association take considerable pride in both their work and their accomplishments and seek to make the importance of counseling and the role of counselors better known throughout the nation and the world. To this end, the ACA designates April of each year as Counseling Awareness Month, a time of advocacy for a profession and celebration of the outstanding efforts of counselors in myriad settings as they seek to facilitate the growth and development of all people. The types of counseling are individual counseling, couples counseling, family counseling, and group counseling. People come to counseling when their attempts to deal with their concerns is no longer effective. Counseling can be helpful in areas such as addiction and abuse of alcohol and other drugs, adjustment issues, including adjustment to college, anger management, anxiety, communication, depression, eating disorders, gender identity and sexual orientation, grief, relationship difficulties, relationship violence and physical abuse, sexual assault, stress management, thoughts of suicide or preoccupation with death, trauma. The difference between a counselor and a psychotherapist is the counselor works with shorter term issues such as bereavement and relationship issues, while psychotherapist works over a complicated or enduring mental health concerns. There are 5 approaches to psychotherapy: 1, psychoanalysis; 2, behavior therapy; 3, cognitive therapy; 4, humanistic therapy; and 5, integrative or holistic therapy. Psychoanalysis is a system of therapy which aims to treat mental disorders by investigating the interaction between the conscious and unconscious mind and bringing repressed fears and conflicts into the conscious mind with techniques such as dream interpretation and free associations. The purpose or goal of the therapy is to gain insight into the person's inner world and how it affects his or her emotions, behaviors, and relationships. There was a case where a healthy 20-year-old male had an irrational, intense fear of mice. He nor the therapist knew the root cause of his fear. Through dream interpretation and free association techniques, they discovered that he had been bitten by a rat when he was a toddler. In another case, a middle-aged woman had an inability to establish and maintain long-term relationships. She would become suspicious and check on her partner's text messages and emails because she was fearful of being betrayed or harmed. It was discovered that her parents had a very stressful marriage. Her father physically abused her mother and eventually abandoned her. The lady learned that all men would harm her the same way her dad harmed her mother. Behavioral therapy is an umbrella term of types of therapy that treat mental health disorders. This form of therapy seeks to identify and help change potential self-destructive or unhealthy behaviors. It functions on the idea that all behaviors are learned and that unhealthy ones can be changed. The focus of treatment is often to current problems and how to change them. The therapy can be used to treat anger issues, eating disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, ADHD, phobias including social phobias, panic disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, self-harm, and substance abuse. There are 4 types of behavioral therapy: cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral play therapy, system desensitization, and aversion therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy combines behavioral therapy with cognitive therapy. Treatment is centered around how a person's thoughts and beliefs influence their actions and moods. It often focuses on the person's current problems and how to resolve them. The long-term goal is to change the person's thinking and behavioral patterns to healthier ones. Cognitive behavioral play therapy uses pictures or toys to create scenes in the sandbox. Treatment involves teaching children different methods of expressing themselves. The child will eventually warm up to the therapist and feel comfortable expressing themselves with toys and in drawing pictures without thinking of the consequences of them expressing their fears or anger through play. System desensitization relies heavily on classical conditioning. It is often used to treat phobias. With people are taught to replace fear response with a phobia and relaxation responses. A person is first taught relaxation and breathing techniques. Once mastered, the therapist will slowly expose them to their fear in heightened dosages while they practice these techniques. Aversion therapy is often used to treat problems such as substance abuse and alcoholism. It works by teaching people to associate the stimulus that is desirable but unhealthy with an extremely unpleasant stimulus. The unpleasant stimulus may be something that causes discomfort. For example, the therapist may teach you to associate alcohol with unpleasant memory. Thus ends my presentation for today. My next video will air on the 4th Friday of this month. My website is uniquelyandwonderfullymadeministries.com, and my email address is mirecovery74@gmail.com. I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the Warrior Warring.